7 Eyewitness News starts right now.
The defendant shall be sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of release or parole.
A jury spared a convicted cop killer the death penalty.
Cairo 7's Natasha Chen was in the courtroom when Christopher Monfort was sentenced to life in prison. Natasha?
The jury only took less than 3 hours to come to this decision, and even though they did not have to be unanimous, one juror told us that they were. Now, defense lawyers for Christopher Monfort argued that he had a tough childhood and asked for the jury's mercy. It seems they listened. Defense lawyers said this does not lessen the seriousness of killing Seattle police officer Timothy Brenton in 2009. Brenton's family was there to hear the verdict, but some of them did not make themselves available to talk to us afterward. Instead, we heard from Monfort and his mother.
I'm more concerned about 600 people and all of their citizens, 600 citizens that have been killed, and all of their families.
I'm just kind of in shock, and I wish the Britton family so much love and peace.
Christopher Monfort will spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of release or parole. And throughout the many years of this court process, Monfort has consistently defended his actions, as you heard him just there. He has said this was in response to police brutality he saw around the country. But Timothy Brenton had no record of any incident with brutality. Instead, he was just pulled over on the side of the street discussing a traffic stop when he was killed. I talked to his stepmother about his service, and I'll put that together to share with you at 6. Live in Seattle, Natasha Chen, Cairo 7 Eyewitness News.
A beloved community leader gunned down in the neighborhood he devoted his life to protecting.
He gave his heart and soul.
Team coverage on the search for Donnie Chin's killer and a look at the leader's life and legacy.
Hard to imagine the neighborhood without him, without his presence here.
New at 5, mourners tell our Graham Johnson how Chin left a lasting impression on the International District.
But first to Essex Porter with new information from police on Chin's killer. Essex.
And it's been barely a half hour since we left the police department behind me after talking with the assistant chief in charge of investigations. He tells me his investigators will need the public's help to solve this crime. A red Chevrolet parked cockeyed on the sidewalk, huge bullet holes through the window. That's what Seattle police found just before 3 this morning when they were called to 8th and South Lane in the Chinatown International District.
I heard a series of shots. I don't know, 3 or 4 at least, all right? And within several minutes later, I heard a whole bunch of shots.
Only later did the community learn the victim was Donald Chin, director of the International District Emergency Services Center. A police source told us Chin had been alerted to trouble between 2 rival groups just before he was killed.
That was his life. He gave his life for this neighborhood. I thought that when he was alive, and now it's turned out to be the sad truth.
And it may be a while before Chin's friends have all the answers they want. Chief, any suspects in custody?
There are no suspects in custody at this time. This investigation is clearly in its infancy at this time. Just happened early this morning, and the investigation is early and ongoing as we speak.
Now, if you are a witness, were there overnight, or you might have video that could help police, Seattle Police want to hear from you. We're putting the number to call on our website at KairoTV.com. Reporting live in Seattle, Essex Porter, Cairo 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, Essex, Chin was clearly so loved and respected. Do police think he was actually the target?
We did ask police that question in our interview just a half hour ago. They tell us they have no indication that Donnie Chin was specifically targeted, at least none at this time.
All right, thank you, Essex Porter, reporting live in Seattle.
Now, Donnie Chin is being remembered as a hero by the people who knew him best. Cairo 7's Graham Johnson has been talking to his friends. And Graham, everyone, it seems, in the International District knew Donnie Chin.
And many of them have been coming here, Steve, to this alley. They've been sharing memories here and bringing flowers. This is Donnie Chin's shop, the Sun May Company, and also the first headquarters for the group he founded to help his neighbors.
The streets of Chinatown were safer because of the International District Emergency Center, which was really Donnie Chin, responding at all hours to help his neighbors.
We saw him really as the community's protector. When there are situations, fires, you know, he'd be there helping evacuate folks. Somebody choking in a restaurant, eating food, he'd be there on the spot.
He often beat official first responders.
Donnie dedicated his life to the International District.
Dean Wong calls Donnie Chin his oldest and best friend. The two started responding to emergencies here in the 60s.
He was out here last night for whatever reason and keeping the peace.
Wong doesn't know what happened early this morning when Chin was fatally shot in his car. He does know that for 40 years, Donnie Chin patrolled these streets around the clock.
He was the most giving, caring, even courageous to work on the streets.
Ron Chu was among the friends who came to Chin's shop to pay tribute.
We're stunned, we're grieving, we're trying to figure out, imagine a community without him. He's one of Seattle's heroes.
Donnie Chin was so proud of his heritage in this neighborhood. His family had been here for several generations. Friends tell me he learned community service from his father. Live in the International District, Graham Johnson, Cairo 7, Eyewitness News.
Our coverage continues on this heroic man right here on Cairo 7. In 30 minutes, we're going to take you to a community meeting where mourners are coming together in the International District. A live report from our Gary Horker. That's at 5:30.
2 King County Sheriff's deputies may lose their jobs for apparently lying about what happened in this video. Cairo 7's Amy Clancy is live right now in the newsroom. And Amy, you have the video. What did you hear?
Well, the deputies accused the driver of using the F word. I didn't hear it, and neither did investigators. This is the altercation that may end 2 law enforcement careers. It shows King County Sheriff Sergeant Lou Caballero being confronted by Metro bus driver Kelvin Kirkpatrick. The driver was wearing a body camera at the time, and his video recorded his frustration at what he felt was a lack of support by deputies, whose job it is to keep buses and drivers safe. It was an issue Kirkpatrick had complained about before.
I'm not yelling at you, Sergeant. I'm not yelling at you. I'm expressing how frustrated I am at the fact that I've got 3 deputies that don't do anything. I need help.
Shortly after this November exchange, Sergeant Caballero filed a complaint against Kirkpatrick saying the driver yelled and used the F word. Deputy Amy Schablum wrote a report that she heard the same cursing, but
it became apparent that there was a video, and that video turned out to exonerate and make it clear that the operator did not engage in the behavior that the deputy had complained about.
The 2 deputies' attorney told Cairo 7 today that both, quote, gave truthful accounts of what occurred. That's not how their boss sees it.
We investigated this case every which way we possibly could to try to find out what happened. And the conclusion we have come to is he did not use any swear words whatsoever, and the officers apparently did not tell the truth about it.
And that statement by the sheriff is very disturbing to the deputy's lawyer, because she just told me on the phone it makes it sound as if he's already decided her client's fate and hasn't told them yet. Meanwhile, that video exonerated Kirkpatrick of any wrongdoing, but he and all other Metro drivers have since been ordered not to wear body cams. We're finding out why for tonight at 6. Reporting live in the newsroom, Amy Clancy, Cairo 7, Eyewitness News.
Well, you can see the interaction for yourself and let us know what you think. We have posted the full 13-minute exchange between the bus driver and the deputies at CairoTV.com. The State Department of Health issued a warning and a food safety reminder today because of dozens of cases of salmonella. They're all believed to be linked to raw pork. Now, this map shows a breakdown of the 56 cases in the 8 counties where the illnesses have been reported. They began in late April with the most recent one a few weeks ago. Investigators say there's no direct connection between the infections. Many involve food served at a variety of events around the state. We have posted everything you need to know to keep you and your family safe at JesseJones.com.
More than a dozen people in Snohomish and King counties had money taken after being stalked at the ATM.
Everett police revealed this afternoon they caught 2 suspects. Cairo 7's Joanna Small is live at a credit union. And Joanna, police say the crooks used a couple of schemes to steal more than $90,000.
They did, Monique, in total. Now, they believe that over the course of about 3 months, at least 2 men were hiding in vans and SUVs, watching people use various ATMs in the Everett area as well as some in King County. Then what they would do is they'd watch those same people get into their vehicles and they would follow them.
Rashonda Ronco says this BECU ATM is busy from dusk till dawn. She's here at least weekly.
At least once a week, if not 2.
And she's never thought to canvass the area before she uses her card.
I never thought nothing about it. I'm always at different ATMs, and I do my business, get in my car, and I go.
Police say most people don't, which is why they say at least 17 victims, nearly a dozen at this ATM alone, didn't notice these 2 men and possibly others watching, then following them.
It might be at home, might be the shopping mall, might be anywhere. And ultimately, when the victim gets out of the car, they come and prowl the car.
But at least once, they robbed a woman at gunpoint and lured a man out of his car to help push a stalled vehicle while they broke into his vehicle.
That's pretty serious.
The pair were caught when they robbed the wrong guy, an undercover cop.
They acted like a victim, and ultimately, the suspects came and tried to take the money.
Rashonda says she's concerned there may be more suspects, but she says while she's never done a double check before she uses her card at the ATM, she always triple checks her rearview mirror.
If you're watching your rearview mirror every 3 to 5 seconds and paying attention to where you go and, you know, following your trace, then well, a lot of people don't do that.
Police say the men were arrested and released and have not at this point yet been connected to all 17 crimes. Now, you saw the picture of the third unknown suspect. We are going to put it on our Facebook page so that you can share it and possibly help police catch him. Live in Everett, Joanna Small, Cairo 7 Eyewitness News.
A hang glider has a broken leg tonight after this scene in the woods in Issaquah. Chopper 7 got there after tandem jumpers took off from Poo Poo Point. You can see the chute wrapped up in the trees. The man made it out of the woods and then was taken to the hospital.
A big win today for Amazon. The results are in, and the Seattle company is now bigger than the nation's biggest box store. Coming up, how they beat Walmart and the experts.
An Everett woman has a signed picture of Ichiro, and it faded away. She called me. I got her the real deal right away. It's a great surprise. You've got to watch it. Coming up.
Alert neighbors found a crying toddler wandering around in this Federal Way neighborhood. What they did to help the boy when they said police were late to show up.
Some sunshine and upper 70s this afternoon, but everything changes tomorrow as we usher in a cold front. How far temperatures drop and our best chance of rain and thunderstorms this weekend coming up in your full pinpoint forecast.